Hello everyone, and we're back for another episode of the Show Up, Speak Up series. And we're really lucky today. We've got another awesome guest speaker, a lovely lady called Natalia. So Natalia is going to jump on and have a good old chat with us for the next 30 minutes or so. And just a little bit about her before we bring her on is that Natalia is a master's graduate in nutrition from Poland, and now she's currently living in the Netherlands. So very far away from Sydney right now. And what Natalia does, it's a little bit interesting and different, which is why I'm really excited to have her on tonight. And is that Natalia combines her knowledge of neuroscience with a holistic approach to promoting good brain health, which is really cool, and I'm super excited because I'm a little bit of a science geek myself. And Natalia also works lots with eating disorders and food addiction. Hi
there. I was a little bit confused at the beginning because I didn't know that you can do lives like this, with different
angles.
Yeah. So hello everybody. Hi Hannah, how are you doing?
Yeah, we're good. How are you today?
I'm good. It's morning here in Europe, so I think for you it's evening, right?
Yes, yeah, always so different to everywhere else.
But you're not from Australia. You're from
from England. Yeah, you can tell.
Okay. So how did you end up in Australia?
A man, everyone says don't move across the world for a man, and yet here I am. But it's working out, so it's all good.
That's great opportunity. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on to today and having a chat. And yeah, I just think what you do is fascinating. The whole neuroscience combination is really unique. So I'm really excited to just get to know a bit more about what you do and your story. So let's start there. If you could tell me a bit more about how you got into this and a bit of your background, and if you had a story that led you to where you are, and just to let people know kind of why you do what you do, basically.
Well, I'm a neuroscientist. Well, I do not work anymore in the research, but I'm a neuroscience graduate, and this is how I got interested in all of the brain health. And actually my all of the studies I did, like my bachelor and also my master degree, were about actually binge eating, but on rats. So not really on humans, but on rats. And of course, I also had my own episode with the bulimia, a little bit like with generally eating disorders, all the spectrum of eating disorders. And this is how I got into the field. And I was always very interested in nutrition. So I've got this background, and I also got a personal story. So this is how I started. And yeah, I think that I'm having maybe a little bit innovative approach because of my background. It's a little bit different than other people are promoting, and I think that there is a population of people with eating disorders who I can really help, because we know that everybody probably needs a little bit different approach. So this is what I'm offering.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, everyone's unique. And especially in terms of the brain, like, I'm a total believer in that everyone needs to understand their own mind, how it works, and use like a lot of evidence-based procedures. Like for me personally, I have to have the evidence to believe something, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people like that. So how do you actually combine the neuroscience and the nutrition together? Can you give any examples or any specific approaches or techniques that you do that combines the two?
Well, we know that if we want to change anything in our life, it's based on neuroplasticity. It's all neuroplasticity training. So I'm trying to gather the information from the neuroplasticity training and what we know about how to rewire the brain, and then I'm trying to apply it into how we can change behavior. Also, another thing which is connected to my approach is how can we sort of manipulate also the gut-brain axis, because right now we know a lot that what is happening in our gut can also impact our decision making in our brain. So this is very useful. Whole understanding of how our brain works, it's very useful in that practice, because then I can explain to clients, explain to people how the binges, or how your food, how decisions, how your food making decisions are not always coming from your conscious brain, but sometimes they are coming from the insides of your brain, like your animal, lizard brain, reptilian brain, however you want to call it. So this is very useful to show people that it is not really those urges are coming from different parts of the brain, and it's also like habit forming. So this is very, very important. And in my practice, I also focus on mental health, because I also had my own struggles with depression. So this is also very important for me to combine all of it together. And then I think that tackling the problem from many different angles can help us to deal with the problem.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, especially like, because we've all got a personal story, and like you said, with your eating disorder, so did I. And what I found was that it was no just one approach that got me better. I had to do so many different things, and each of them kind of nudged me along that process. But it was this like holistic approach. You have to target everything, don't you? You have to look at all aspects.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I really like the holistic approach, because it's not just about the food, but also if we have a struggle with food, with our relationship with food, we can tackle it from many different angles, as I said before. And we have to optimize also our sleep, our stress, what is in our mind, our relationship. It can all impact our behavior. So it's very good to like take a step back and look at the person holistically and see other areas of their life when they could improve. Because again, maybe it's a food problem, but it's not always only about the food.
Yeah, for sure. I always say, you know, food is the symptom of something that is going on at a much deeper level. And half the time people think that it's something that they're doing wrong and it's a personal attack on them. But actually, like exactly like you said, there's stuff going on in the brain that without the understanding, of course, you just take it personally, don't you? You just immediately think that it's you.
And then you have this also negative thought about what you are doing, because you think that it's maybe your fault, or it's like personal trait that you cannot control yourself. So this negative talk also, we can sort of rewire it through neuroplasticity, like how we can stop this thinking and how we can change it into other thinking patterns.
Yeah, just had a question actually. Do you believe emotions have a part to play relating to eating disorders? What do you think about that?
One more time, what do you exactly mean?
I had a question saying, do you believe emotions have a part to play in eating disorders?
Yes, definitely. There is something like emotional eating. Emotions can push us into eating. Sometimes it can be stress, sometimes it can be fear. And this eating can be like a coping mechanism. When we don't know what to do with our emotion, then we try to soothe ourselves with food, which is not really very, very healthy thing to do.
Yeah, it's so cool, especially now. I don't know about you. I'm seeing a lot of people come to me struggling even more with food right now because of the stress and the boredom and the loneliness and the uncertainty. Are there any kind of problems that you're seeing right now as a result of, you know, everything that we're going through? Is there anything that sticks out to you?
Yeah, as you said, what I see, this scarcity mindset, that even our unconscious brain sees this whole situation as a stressful situation. We don't know what's gonna happen. Our unconscious brain may think that the famine will come, we won't have any food. That's why we want to hoard food. We also want to eat a lot of food. So yes, definitely this scarcity mindset is a real thing. Another problem I see is lack of structure in people's lives, because their circadian rhythm is out of the sync, so they are waking up at different time, eating sometimes at night. They are grazing on food instead of eating the whole meals. They will, eat a little bit throughout the day. So this is another problem. I don't know what else. Just sometimes even they have like a wrong mindset, because they will give themselves some reasons that why I cannot recover right now, or why is it so hard for me? I know that we are all in isolation, so it's okay for me to binge a little bit right now, because everyone is struggling with food. So I think that some of us may also lie to ourselves that we have to eat food because this is a strange situation, it's not the time to recover, we are all stressed, isolated, lonely, so it's okay to eat a little bit more or to binge on food. So this is also, I think, a problem.
Yeah, no, that's interesting you said that, and it's very true that often we use something that happens to us in our lives or a situation that we're in as like subconsciously a bit of an excuse to get away with more, and that's the reality. And I don't think many people speak about that, but I think it's all too common. And it's, you know, it's not just with food, people are turning to alcohol more and, you know, binge watching, all of this, but because of the situation we're in, it's kind of okay, and we kind of let ourselves off the hook, which stops us ever really committing to, you know, really working on ourselves.
Yes, that's true. People right now probably are making plans what they will do after after the situation is over. Instead of starting today, right now, they think that, okay, I will start when the situation is goes back to normal. Then I will start building healthy habits again.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, it's really.
I'm glad we agree on that. Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people kind of brush over that, but I think it's really important point to make. So thank you for saying that. And aside from that, actually, I was noticing on your page, you offer so much value and so much, you know, evidence-based explanations. You were talking about struggles with like hunger, and you said you had some special struggles with hunger and managing hunger and satiety. I think for people right now might be, so I've seen quite a lot of people struggling to deal with eating too much, not eating enough, overeating. And given the neuroscience background, is there anything that you could like share that's you know, helping people to understand why we overeat and that kind of fullness scale?
I think that that we are overeating because the food is available. Again, maybe our emotions are also coming to the surface, and we want to shut them down with eating. I know that many people will say that during recovery, it's not really important to focus on what you eat. You should focus on other things. But I actually think that we should also pay attention to what we are eating, because the micronutrient status in our body can also impact our neurotransmitters, so also how we feel. So if we are right now closed in our homes with all of the food, let's at least try to make an effort to maybe once a day eat really a properly balanced meal, because I think that it will really help us. And if we are struggling also with hunger, it would be good to eat more satiating foods, more whole foods. Let's try to stick to less processed foods, because actually eating too many processed foods can really impact our hunger scale, because those foods are designed to be to eat too much of them, to overconsume, to overeat on them. So let's keep that in mind. If we want to eat emotionally, let's try to maybe do it more consciously. But let's just keep somewhere in mind that those foods were designed to overeat on them, and it's still, we should, if we are truly, you know, loving ourselves, if we want to care about for our bodies, we should pay a little bit more attention that our food is good quality. I think so.
Yeah, definitely. And I think right now, you know, it's giving ourselves a little bit permission. If we're going to overeat, you know, it's okay. It's okay to overeat sometimes, but exactly like you said, if you've got a bit more conscious awareness of the types of food you're eating, and, you know, if you're really focused on that, then overeating is not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal.
But we also, when I'm telling those advices, I really have to be careful, and the person who receives that also, they have to keep in mind that I'm not encouraging any restriction or anything. you just have to make a really conscious choices. What is the best for you at the moment? Sometimes from the perspective even of, you may love yourself, and you may and when you want to make the best decisions for you, sometimes you can even intuitively choose more balanced meal, and that's okay. So yes, and right now when we are eating also like mindlessly, maybe it would be good to do some mindful eating training. Try to eat without the distractions, try to really savor the food, try to maybe eat a little bit slower, and really pay attention to what you are eating, how does it taste. And I think that this kind of mindful eating can really bring us more satisfaction. Therefore, there's less chance that we will overeat on that food.
Yeah, I think that point of slowing down is really important. I don't know about you, especially when you're really hungry, you go off on autopilot, don't you? So I always say, chew at least 20 times. And I know, and when you first start doing that, it feels so weird, right? Doesn't it?
It feels weird. Yeah.
It just feels completely unnatural, but that's the way we were meant, we evolved to eat in that kind of mindful way. But it's just the world we live in has forced us in the other direction, hasn't it?
But right now, we have an opportunity, right? Because we don't go to drive-through. We are not rushing in the canteen at work or something. We are at our home, so it's a great opportunity to do some more mindful eating or mindful training techniques. And so let's see this situation as an opportunity to do something new.
Yeah, for sure. And for people who may be struggling with food, whether that's overeating or restricting, is there any kind of tips or any bit of advice you could give from your perspective as that nutrition, neuroscience background, just to either give them a bit of reassurance or something that they could try to help?
I'm not sure. I haven't prepared anything to say. Maybe if you are right now, I don't know, in binging, restricting cycle, and there's a lot of like emotions and you're afraid or you are stressing about that, what I would say is just to, distance yourself from all of it. Because when you are, the brain even remembers situations more when you put a lot of emotions, when it is connected to a lot of emotions. So when you're binging on food, overeating or something like this, and there's a lot of emotions about that, like guilt, resentment, whatever it can be, it goes hardwired into your brain.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to distance yourself from your emotions, see it as this animal brain talking, and try to react less emotionally to all of your binges, and therefore with more rational brain you can then tackle that problem. So yes, I would say like try to distance yourself and react less emotionally to your eating habits.
Yeah, I think that's really important, because I tell a lot of people that, when you're in that emotional state, you cannot think rationally. Your emotions are like 5 times stronger than that rational part of your brain. So your emotions will always win. So like you said, if you're responding constantly from this emotional place, it's going to take a real toll on you, not just physically, but mentally as well, isn't it? So learning to distance.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and you're just learning to distance yourself from your emotions and see them for what they are rather than getting attached to them is really important.
This is where the mindfulness training is really useful as well. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all need to eat a little bit more mindfully, especially right now whilst emotions are high. So recapping over mindful eating. So eat slower, eat with no distractions. What other kind of tips or things that you could say that to start with mindful eating?
Definitely we should start without the distraction, and try to even like relax your body before even start eating. Put your food on a plate, even like take a look at this, try to smell it, turn on all of your senses to see really to finally see what the food really is. How does it smell? How does it look like? And then you can take the first bite and really try to savor it, try to chew it a few times. You will see that after a few seconds in your mouth, it actually doesn't maybe taste anymore that good. And maybe when the meal progresses, you will also notice that maybe I am full already and I don't have to finish my plate. So those would be the few tips I could give about mindful eating.
Yeah, I always try to make my food look nice. Nice to eat and be colourful, because I think we've got so much beige food around right now with all the processed foods. So adding as much colour as possible. I
think it's also expression of creativity. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I love that.
That's
seeing
nice.
Food as creativity. That's a really good point to make. I think we all need to take that on board. And kind of finally, is there anything that you're offering right now to support people through this, or where can we find you online, your website? If you just want to tell people about that so they know where to find you.
Okay, so I think that the easiest would be to find me on Instagram, Well-Fed Brain, and on other platforms. I think I'm also Well-Fed Brain, for example, on YouTube. However, I took a break from YouTube, so I don't know when new videos will come. Also, you can visit my website, wellfedbrain.net, and then you can see what kind of programs do I offer. Right now it's like 1 month consultations or 3 month consultations, coaching. It's a mixture. However, I don't know, maybe in the future I will try to do some online course or some like group coaching, but right now I still have to work on my signature program. I really want it to be really good structure and that it really helps. So I'm still in a process of developing it, and I also wait for feedback from clients, what is good, what could be improved. So again, it's ongoing process of refining your program.
Yeah.
But yes, if anyone is interested, the easiest way would be to connect with me through Instagram, and then you will probably get the links to other places.
Yeah, I'll share as much as I can with this episode so people can find you. But yeah, you've got so much value and so much information. So I would really recommend anyone to check out your page, because it's different, it's unique, and it's so much to learn from there. So thank you so much for coming on and talking and sharing some like really different ideas and concepts. So yeah, like we said, any questions about anything from today's episode, please get in contact with myself or Natalia. We're happy to answer any questions. But thank you, Natalia.
Okay, thank you for saying all of those lovely things about me and how my website is unique. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very also happy that you decided to invite different experts, because again, everyone has different approach, and it's really good to show people that you can find a health professional who can help you, who you sort of like vibe with.
Yeah.
So that's very important that you are showing people different experts, different perspectives. I'm really happy that you connected with me and you invited me to your platform. It was really pleasure. I think that we have a lot in common in our approach, so that's really nice. And thank you everybody for tuning in. It was very nice to be here live.
Perfect. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll keep in contact, and we'll be back on Sunday for the next episode. So thank you again, Natalia, and we'll let you get on with your day. Thanks everyone for listening. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.